I'm Brian Van from SportbikeTrackGear.com, and today we're going to do a video review and install on a really cool pair of frame sliders from LSL. They are the LSL crash pads. Essentially what we have here is we have a billet aluminum crash pad here. They're available in several cool colors. I chose the red. I'm pretty into the red, white, and blue theme, obviously. Aluminum crash pad, and we have a nice kind of a Delrin plastic insert. You can see there's a tail that faces off the back of this. They want these installed on the motorcycle in a directional manner, like so, with the tail facing backward. The concept is that if the bike you happen to have a fall, this helps the motorcycle keep sliding in a given direction, okay? You know how the Germans are, a lot of science, a lot of engineering, and they have also developed this new style insert to help better manage the impact when the motorcycle falls over. That can be a benefit for a garage tip over, as well as it can be a benefit for a racetrack or a street crash. Pretty cool kit. The mounting kit for these is done in billet aluminum, and here are the fasteners. The kit for this particular bike is a no fairing cut kit. Direct install. You can use this with your street fairings. You do not have to cut the street fairings. It comes with some instructions. There is English included here as well as a torque spec of 35 Newton meters. We did a conversion on that. It was roughly 25.8 foot-pounds, and we're going to go ahead and actually use a torque wrench today. We've got that right here. For this install, we need just a few basic tools. I need to remove the fairings on this bike. As you can see, I've got race fairings, so that's really a pretty easy process, okay, for me. I've got a couple of deuce fasteners I need to undo. We're going to loosen up a couple of the upper mounts, and then we'll be right back. We're going to show you how to put these sliders on an R6. Okay, I've got the kit divided into the pieces that are going to go on the right side of the motorcycle and the pieces that are going to go on the left side of the motorcycle. Using the directions that were provided, I was able to check the lengths of the bolts. For example, the 105 millimeter bolt goes on the right side with a 40 millimeter spacer. Okay, the right side is really the easiest of the two. I've also identified I need to remove this lower engine bolt. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and use my Motion Pro T-handle. This thing's pretty sweet. Remove the stock engine bolt. Keep this. Never discard any of these stock fasteners because you never know down the road when you may need to use them again. The way the Yamaha is set up and it holds the engine in place, it uses an engine spacer setup, right, that goes through a hole here in the frame. Make sure that all these pieces make it back and they're exactly the same as they were when you disassembled it, okay? We're going to go ahead right now and put this side together. There's that 105 millimeter bolt. Here is the spacer, 40 millimeters in length. You need the thickest portion to go against the crash pad itself, and then I'm going to put back on that spacer. You can use just a little bit of blue thread locker on this, okay? Just to ensure that it doesn't come loose down the road. The blue stuff is really pretty easy to break loose by hand. You don't need any kind of heat or anything. And it's just going to help make sure that this doesn't come loose accidentally. We're going to use the T-handle to get this rolling. And then we're going to grab the torque wrench right there and torque it to the 25 foot-pounds. I'll be real honest with you, I don't normally use a torque wrench, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to go ahead and break it out. Let's get it set to 25 foot-pounds. Right there. This is a clip-type torque wrench from Snap-on. That's it. That is 25 foot-pounds converted from 35 Newton meters. And you can see the way the tail is facing the back of the motorcycle. We'll be right back. We'll be on the other side. We'll put the left side of the bike together. All right, here we go on the left side of the bike. We're going to need to push this upper fairing up out of the way just a little bit. Let's go ahead and break that engine mount bolt loose. Essentially here, we're just going to reproduce, for the most part, what we've already done on the other side of the bike, okay? Make sure all of your engine spacers are in there. This side is a little bit different, so there's nothing to do. This is a fixed mounting points. So you're good to go there, but always take a look and make sure. Never assume anything. This side mounts up a little bit differently. We've got a longer spacer. We've got a mount for the spacer, and then we have this bracket that is going to bolt to the motorcycle. There's a spacer that needs to go in right here, so this sits nice and flush against the frame like so. We're going to use the shortest of the two bolts to put this one together. A little bit of thread locker. Once again, blue. Push the fairing out of the way. Let's get the spacer in there. We're going to torque this one to the same setting as the other side. The torque wrench is still set up right now. Like I said earlier, a torque wrench isn't necessary, right? You can do this job without it. To be honest with you, most of the time when I work on the bikes, I don't use a torque wrench. Some folks may agree with that and disagree with it, but as long as you don't go crazy over tightening everything, you're going to be fine. Wrench is still set, 25 foot-pounds. I'm going to go ahead and grab the crash pad now. Put a little bit of thread locker on here, just like the other side. Let's get everything started. And you're going to see that once this is mounted to that billet adapter, you've got a very similar look to what we had on the other side of the motorcycle in terms of how far it protrudes from the fairing. Let's go ahead and get this started. Kind of line this up a little bit here. Let's grab our torque wrench. And once again, 25 foot-pounds. All right, we'll be right back. I'm going to put the lower fairing on the motorcycle, and you can see what the finished project looks like. All right, that's it. We've got both sides mounted up. I've got the lower fairing back on the motorcycle, and you can see they look good. They're functional. I really like the design of this frame slider, the combination of the billet along with that plastic crash pad in the center. It's able to absorb some energy, right? And that tail kind of helps it slide directionally on the pavement. It's a high quality kit. It's available for a lot of motorcycles, a lot of the different current sport bikes. And one of the best parts about it is they have no cut designs for almost every single application. So for a street rider or somebody who rides on the racetrack with their street fairings, you don't have to modify your fairings whatsoever. It's a good, clean look. Here's a look at the left side, and that's it. This is the LSL billet aluminum crash pad installation and review on my 2008 Yamaha R6.